Starting at the link by the Central Library, now going by the Otago Museum, which will be a common meeting point for us throughout the semester. The yellowish building over there on the left is the Student Health Center for any of your health needs, including mental health and prescription refills. As we continue our walk heading up Albany Street towards Great King Street, we'll see the red building across the street. That is the post office, which we call the post shop in Dunedin. And the green sign next to that is the sign for the Kiwi Bank, where you can exchange your foreign cash or currency. Now we'll cross both Great King Street and Albany Street. We're walking down this wee street here. We'll be going by the buildings for zoology, physiotherapy, and dentistry. You can make dentist appointments at the School of Dentistry, or if you prefer elsewhere, just ask your RD. Straight ahead is the hospital on the main entrance side, but we'll take a turn to the left first, heading towards Great King Street. So campus is back that way to the left, but going down to the right along the back side of the hospital now. There is an urgent care center over there for after hours. And the blood lab, if you are ordered to get any lab test done. This is Hanover Street. So Hanover Street is where the after hours care is located. As we cross over Hanover Street towards New World Grocery Store, the main shopping center near campus for your groceries and toiletry needs. There is also one by the Botanical Gardens if you live up that direction. Across the street from New World is Warehouse Stationery, the blue building. This is one great place to get your stationery needs fulfilled. Kmart and Office Max are also available locally. Heading towards the center of town by the intersection now of St. Andrews Street is the Cadbury Factory, if you like chocolate. And now we're going to head up St. Andrews Street towards George Street. On our way up, we can see that yellow building there. That is the Office Max on our right. And down the other direction on our left is where you would find the Central Police Station. Continuing up St. Andrews Street, we reach the Op Shop on our left, one of the many fabulous thrift shops in town for a good cause. Now we are on George Street, which is the main shopping street leading to the center of the city. And for you coffee drinkers, there's your Starbucks, your only Starbucks in Dunedin. But I encourage you to try some of the more local Kiwi cafes, and especially the flat white coffee, which was invented in New Zealand and is quite popular. Now we're going to be heading towards the Octagon, which is the center of the city. You can see Spark on the corner, which is one of our mobile phone providers. There's some good cheap shops for souvenirs, more stationery needs, and gift shopping. Across the street you can see Granny Annie's for your American candy and graham crackers if you choose. Here's 2 Degrees, which is another mobile phone provider. Up here on Murray Place, the name of the street at this corner, we can see the City Library. You're more than welcome to explore that if you're interested. We can see some city buses going by. City buses are a great way to get around Dunedin, and also very cheap. You can get a bus card to get a discount for the bus fare. You can easily get your bus card at the City Council here on George Street near the Octagon. For all you All Blacks fans, you can find gear at the Champion Sports Shop across the street. And finally, we are in the Octagon, the city center, location for the city hall, cinema, awesome sights, activities, restaurants. Here you can find shops that sell greenstone, not jade. Greenstone is only found in New Zealand. And down there is the famous Dunedin Railway Station. This is called Stewart Street. Going back to where we started in the Octagon and now heading back down George Street towards campus. Going by Granny Annie's again. There's Starbucks. This is a postal box, by the way, to drop your letters for mailing. And there across the street is the Meridian Mall, where you can find Kmart, an electronics store, cafes, restaurants, other shops. Going down an alley, a very safe alley that's across the street from Meridian Mall, we reach the entrance of the Center City Mall, which is the mall where the New World grocery store is located. So we're just on the other side now. We've done a loop. But from here, we're going to walk back towards the hospital from the other direction from before. Crossing Hanover Street again. Here's the med school on our left. Main entrance to the hospital on the right. Looking on the left again, near the med school, we have the medical library where some course materials might be on reserve, as we have different libraries at Otago. Here, going by the School of Dentistry again, physiotherapy, taking a common shortcut to cross Great King Street. There's the Student Health Center again. Now heading towards Albany Street, there's a museum across the street. So again, we've done a loop. Back to the Central Library where we started. We're crossing Cumberland Street now. Walking down Albany Street alongside the Central Library. On our right, we see the OUSA building, which stands for Otago University Student Association, which is the rec center over there. Lots of recreation info, classes of all sorts for crafts, sports, trips. Definitely check it out. There's also free breakfast every weekday from 9 to 10 a.m. and $3 lunches that are quite good. As we're going onto campus, here are the Castle Lecture Theaters. It's a good chance you might have some classes in here. The Volunteer Center with that rainbow sign. Lots of opportunities, options, and events there. And now heading back to the Link and Central Library again. We'll go into the Link Common Student area. Over there is the entrance to the Central Library for studying, computer use, printing. You can also find books on reserve for any of the social sciences or humanities classes. The Archway shop here has stationery and lab coats for sale. Walking along these red-orange tiles towards Cafe Albany is where you will find me, your resident director, during office hours, sitting at one of these silver tables. Now, going through the student union area, we see one room on the right with a big TV screen, and on the left, a big food court which is open during breakfast and lunch times. Very famous for their pancakes. Outside on our right is the Richardson Building, tallest building on campus. As we're heading that way, we see the Central Library again, so once again we've done a loop. Going to the back side of the Richardson Building by the Leith Stream, we can see across the stream some buildings. Those are the buildings for social work, psychology, food sciences, and textiles all over on that side. We'll cross the bridge towards those to see first the front of the famous clock tower. And near the clock tower is the International Office, which is quite an important building for you as a student here. You can go there for student support, visa support, insurance, support and information, and so forth. There's the back of the clock tower where you'll find the examinations office and the buildings for the quad lecture theaters, very common lecture theater area for your classes. The Geology Museum is also located in the quad building. And you can see a little bit of the archway lecture theaters now, which are also common lecture theater spots. Now heading towards that big newer looking building, which is our business school. Have all your business classes, and sometimes tutorials will be hosted here. Now we're technically on Union Street to get your bearings. Crossing Clyde Street, still on Union Street. There's a building on our left called Otago Polytechnic. That's another school. Now we're crossing 4th Street. And here is the building for computer sciences. We'll also see the Robertson Library, which is another quiet study space shared by the university and Polytechnic, so certainly feel free to use this library as well. You see this zebra striped crossing for pedestrians. This is a pedestrian crossing. That means vehicles are required to stop. But don't just assume they'll stop, so still check the road before crossing. We can see down the road is the stadium and Teachers College. Rewinding a bit, back to the clock tower. We're near the clock tower again on the opposite side, headed down St. David's Street. So on St. David's Street, we can see the Uniflat's office. Very essential building for you to also know the location of. Now we're crossing another bridge that goes over the Leith Stream on the other side. Over there you see the chemistry, nutrition, and microbiology buildings. And there's the clock tower once again. Walking alongside St. David's Lecture Theatre now. On the left, which is where the Proctor's office is located, as well as Campus Watch. There's the Visitor Center to buy all your Otago gear and gifts. This is also where the big Otago sign is located. There's Cumberland Street again, with the Good Earth Cafe at the corner of St. David Street and Cumberland. So I hope that was helpful. For further tours, please check out the campus tour video.